Under the tutelage of wild women, we reclaim the ancient, the intuitive, and the passionate. When our lives reflect hers, we act cohesively. We carry through or learn to if we don't already know how. We take the steps to make our ideas manifest into the world. We regain focus when we lose it, attend to personal rhythms, draw closer to friends and mates who are in accord with wildish and integral rhythms.
Ooh.
We choose relationships that nourish our creative and instinctive lives. We reach out to nurture others, and we are willing to teach receptive mates about wildest rhythms if need be.
Yes.
But there is another aspect to mastery, and this is dealing with what can only be called women's rage. The release of that rage is required. Once women remember the origins of their rage, they feel they may never stop grinding their teeth. Ironically, we also feel very anxious to disperse our rage, for it feels distressing and noxious. We wish to hurry up and do away with it. But repressing it will not work. It is like trying to put fire into a burlap bag. Nothing is good to scold ourselves. Neither is it good to scold ourselves or someone else with it. So there we're holding a powerful emotion that we feel came upon us unburdened. It's a little like toxic waste. There it is, no one wants it, but there are a few disposable areas for it. One has to travel far in order to find a burial ground. Here is a literary version of a brief Japanese tale that I've been detailed over the years. I call it Takani Wagumana, the Crescent Moon Bear. I believe it can help us see our way through this matter. The core of the story given to me as the bear. There was once a young woman who lived in a fragmented pine forest. Her husband was away fighting a war for many years. When finally he was released from duty, he trudged home in a most foul mood. He refused to enter the house, for he had become used to sleeping on stones. He kept to himself and stayed in the forest day and night. His young wife was so excited when she learned her husband was coming home at last. She cooked and shopped and cooked and made dishes and bowls of tasty white soybean curd, and 3 kinds of fish and 3 kinds of seaweed and rice sprinkled with red pepper and nice cold prawns, big and orange. Smiling shyly, she carried the food to the woods and knelt beside her war-weary husband and offered to him the beautiful food she had prepared. But he sprang to his feet and kicked the trays over so that the bean curd spilled, the fish jumped into the air, the seaweed and the rice spilled into the dirt, and the big orange prawns were rolling down the path. "Leave me alone," he roared, and turned his back on her. He became so enraged she was frightened of him. Time after time, this occurred until finally, desperate, the young woman found her way to the cave of the healer who lived outside the village. "My husband has been badly injured in the war," the wife said. "He rages continuously and eats nothing. He wishes to stay outside and will not live with me as before. Can you give me a potion that will make him loving and gentle once again?" The healer assured her, "This I can do for you, but I need a special ingredient. Unfortunately, I am all out of hair from the Crescent Moon Bear. So you must climb the mountain, find the black bear, and bring me back a single hair from the crescent moon as its throat. Then I can give you what you need and life will be good again." Some women would feel daunted by this task. Some women would have thought the entire effort impossible, but not she, for she was a woman who loved. "Oh, I am so grateful," she said. "It is so good to know that there's something that can be done." So she readied for her journey, and the next morning she went out into the mountain, and she sang out, "Arigato Zaisho," which is a way of greeting the mountain and saying, "Thank you for letting me climb your body."
Oh, I want to say that.
She climbed into the foothills where there were boulders like big loaves of bread. She ascended upon a plateau covered with the forest. The trees had long draping boughs and the leaves looked like stars. Arigato, Zaisho, she sang. This was a way of thanking the trees for lifting their hairs so she can pass underneath. And so she found her way through the forest and began to climb again. It was harder now. The mountains had thorny flowers that seized the hem of her kimono and rocks that scraped her tiny hands. Strange dark birds flew out at her in the dusk and frightened her. She knew they were known as Mu Botoki, spirits of the dead who have no relatives, and she sang out a prayer for them. I will be your relative. I will lay you to rest. Still she climbed, for she was a woman who loved. She climbed till she saw snow on the mountain peak. Soon her feet were wet and cold, and still she climbed higher, for she was a woman who loved. A storm began, and the snow blew straight into her eyes and deep into her ears. Blinded, she still climbed higher. And when the snow stopped, the woman sang out, Arigato Zaisho, to thank the winds for ceasing to blind her. She took shelter in a shallow cave and could barely pull all of herself into it. Though she had a full pack of food, she did not eat, but she covered herself in leaves and slept. In the morning, the air was calm, and the little green plants even showed through the snow here and there. Ah, she thought, now for the Crescent bear. She searched all day, and near twilight found thick cords of scat, and needed to look no further, for a gigantic black bear lumbered across the snowfall, leaving behind deep pad claw marks. The crescent moon bear roared fearlessly and entered its den. She reached into her bundle and placed the food she brought in a bowl. She set the bowl outside the den and ran back to her shelter to hide. The bear smelled the food and came lurching from its den, roaring so loudly it shook loose little stones. The bear circled around the food from a distance, sampling the wind many times, then ate the food up in one gulp. The great bear reared up, snuffled the air again, and then disappeared into its den. The next evening, the woman did the same, setting out the food, but this time, instead of returning to her shelter, she retreated only halfway. The bear smelled the food, heaved itself out of its den, roared to shake the stars from the sky, circled, tested the air very cautiously, but finally gobbled up the food and crawled back into its den. This continued for many nights until one dark night, the woman felt brave enough to wait even closer to the bear's den. She put the food in the bowl outside the den and stood right by the opening. When the bear smelled the food and lumbered out, it saw not only the usual food, but also a pair of small human feet as well. The bear turned its head sideways and roared so loudly it made the bones in the woman's bodies hum. The woman trembled but stood her ground. The bear howled itself onto its back legs, smacked its jaws, and roared so that the woman could see right up to its red and brown roof of its mouth. But she did not run away. The bear roared even more and put on its arms as though it was to seize her, its 10 claws hanging like 10 long knives on her scalp. The woman shook like a leaf in the high wind, but stayed right where she was. Oh, please, dear bear, she pleaded. Please, dear bear. I've come all this way because I need to cure my husband. The bear brought its front paws to earth and sprayed of snow and peered into the woman's frightened face. For a moment, the woman felt she could see the entire mountain ranges, valleys, rivers, and villages reflected in the bear's old eyes. A deep peace settled over her, and her trembling ceased. Please, dear bear, I've been feeding you all these past nights. Can I please have one of the hairs from the crescent moon on your throat? The bear paused. This woman would be easy food, yet suddenly he was filled with pity for her. It is true, said the crescent moon bear. You've been good to me. You may have one of my hairs, but take it quickly, then leave here and go back to your own. The bear raised its great snout so that the white crescent on its throat showed, and the woman can see the strong pulse of the bear's heart there. The woman put one hand on the bear's neck and with her other took hold of a single glossy white hair. Quickly she pulled it. The bear roared back and cried out as though wounded, and this pain then settled its annoyed snuffs. Oh, thank you, Crescent Moon Bear. Thank you so much. The woman bowed and bowed. But the bear growled and lumbered forward a step. It roared at the woman in words she could not understand, and yet words she had somehow known all her life. She turned and fled down the mountain as fast as she could. She ran under the trees with leaves shaped like stars, and all the way she cried, "Arigato zaisho," to thank the trees for lifting their burrows so she can pass. She stumbled over the boulders that looked like big loaves of bread, crying, "Arigato zaisho," to thank the mountain for letting her climb its body. Though her clothes were ragged, her hair askew, her face soiled, she ran down the stone stairs that led to the village, down the dirt road, and right through to the town to the other side into the hovel where the old healer sat there tending to the fire. Look, look, I have it, I found it, I claimed it. A hair of the Crescent Moon Bear. Oh, good, said the healer with a smile. She peered closely at the woman and took the pure white hair and held it up toward the light. She weighed the long hair in one old hand, measured it with one finger, and exclaimed, "Ah, yes, this is an authentic hair from the Crescent Moon Bear." Then suddenly she turned and threw the hair deep into the fire when it popped and crackled and was consumed in a bright orange flame. "No," cried the young wife, "what have you done?" "Be calm. It is all good. All is well," said the healer. Remember each step you took up the mountain? Oh, remember each step you took to climb the mountain? Remember each step you took to capture the trust of the Crescent Moon Bear? Remember what you saw. Remember what you heard. Remember what you felt. "Yes," said the woman, "I remember very well." The old healer smiled at her gently and said, "Please now, my daughter, go home with your new understanding and proceed in the same ways with your husband." Arigato zaisho.
What's books that's from?
Women who run with the wolves. Yeah, this one's
I
funny.
started reading it on my audiobook, but I wasn't done.
Oh, girl. It's shit, right? Yeah.
I'm thinking like orange and black. That's all I got.
Okay, one more. Can I read to you guys one more time?
Yes. Okay.
The Wolf's Eyelash. If you don't go out into the woods, nothing will ever happen and your life will never begin. Don't go out into the woods, don't go out, they say. Why not? Why should I not go into the woods tonight? She asked. A big wolf lives there who eats humans such as you. Don't go out in the woods, don't go, we mean it. Naturally, she went out. She went out of the woods anyways, and of course she met the wolf just as they had warned her. "See, we told you," they crowed. "This is my life, not a fairy tale, you dolts," she said. "I have to go to the woods, and I have to meet the wolf, or else my life would never begin." But the wolf she encountered was in a trap. In a trap this wolf leg was in. "Help me, oh help me, I," cried the wolf. "Help me, oh help me," he cried. "And I shall reward you justly. For this is the way of wolves and tales of this kind." "How do I know you won't harm me?" she asked. It was her job to ask questions. "How do I know you will not kill me and leave me lying in my bones?" "Wrong question," said the wolf. "You'll just have to take my word for it." And the wolf began to cry and wail again and more. "Oh, I, there's only one question worth asking, my fair maiden. Who are the soul? Oh, you wolf, I will take a chance all right here." And she sprung the trap, and the wolf drew out its paw, and this she bound with herbs and grasses. "Ah, thank you, kind maiden, thank you," sighed the wolf. And because she had read too many of the wrong kinds of tales, she cried, "Go ahead and kill me now." and let's get this over with. But no, this did not come to pass. Instead, the wolf put his paw upon her arm. "I am a wolf from another time and place," said he, and plucked a lash from his eye and gave it to her and said, "Use this and be wise, for now on you will know who is good and not so good. Just look through my eyes and you will see clearly. For letting me live, I bid you live in a manner as never before. Remember, there's only one question worth asking, fair maiden. Who are the souls?" And so she went back into her village, happy to still have her life. And this time, as they said, "Just stay here and be my bride, or do as I tell you, or say as I want you to say, and remain as unridden upon as the day she came." She used the wolf's eyelashes and peered through and saw their motives as she had not seen them before. And the next time the butcher weighed the meat, she looked through the wolf's eyelash and saw that he weighed his thumb too. And she looked at her suitor, who said, "I am so good for you." And she saw that her suitor was so good for exactly nothing. And in this way and more, she was saved from not all, but from many misfortunes. But more so in this new seeing, not only did she see the slay or the cruel, she began to grow immersed in heart, for she looked at each person and weighed them anew through the gift from the wolf she had rescued. And she saw those who were truly kind and went near to them. She found her mate and stayed all the days of her life. She discerned the brave and came close to them. She apprehended the faithful and joined with them. She saw bewilderment under anger and hastened to soothe it. She saw love in the eyes of the shy and reached out to them. She saw suffering in the snuff-lipped and courted their laughter. She saw new in the man within the words and spoke to him. She saw faith deep in the woman who said she had none and rekindled hers from her own. She saw all things with the lash of the wolf, all things true and all things false, all things turning against life and all things turning toward life, all things seen only through the eyes of that which weighs the heart with heart and not with mind alone. This is how she learned that it is true what they say, that the wolf is the wisest of all. If you listen closely, the wolf in its howling is always asking the most important question. Not where's the next food, not where's the next fight, not where's the next dance, but the most important question in order to see into and behind, to weigh the values of our life.
Your concern is anybody coming up?
Yeah.
Who are the soul? Who are the soul? Where is the soul? Where is the soul?
Feeling better?
Go out into the woods, go out. If you don't go out into woods, nothing will ever happen and your life will never begin. Go out into the woods, go out. Go out into the woods, go out. Go out into the woods, go out.
I love those birds. That's why I mentioned it.
Thank you.
Had one hovering around me.
Was it? Is that when it got me?
Maybe.